Hello, everyone. Happy holidays. We are in December, and what better topic to talk about this week than our favorite holiday horror movies? Because there is no shortage of them, and there's. Sorry, you were gonna say?
No, I was just saying, indeed, there's a lot of
There is.
Christmas horror movies, man.
I'm Steve, the Metal Mennonite. With me always is Mr. Steve McGinnis, horror artist extraordinaire. And yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. Like I said, it is the holiday season. So if you got a favorite holiday horror movie that you want to mention, and maybe it's one we haven't seen, and we can put it on our list, and maybe we can share some ones tonight that you haven't seen. So, but first, usually we talk about death on this show, and it's something we're entertained by because of horror movies, and people aren't really getting killed. But not to get too serious, today is the anniversary of the death of Dimebag Darrell from Pantera. Steve and I both big Pantera fans. I've had the privilege of seeing them many times. Recently reunited with Charlie Benante, drummer from Anthrax, and Zakk Wylde from Black Label Society. Both really good friends of the brothers. And how fucking good did they sound in Mexico?
Man, and that was from like phones, right? Like it wasn't even professional, and it sounded that good. Like unbelievable.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the show. I had goosebumps watching most of the songs, and nice little video tribute to the brothers as well. But 18 years, man.
I can't believe it. I remember when the news dropped, and I was kind of hoping it was like a fake thing. I was kind of like, no way. And then I found out, I did a search and found out it was real, and oh my God, just my heart sunk.
Yeah, I found out from my dad. I was obviously out and about, and communication wasn't what it was back then. And I popped into my parents' house, and my dad says, "Hey, he's like that guy from that band you like got killed." And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "I like a lot of bands." I'm like, "What guy?" He's like, "No." He's like, "That band you really like." And I'm like, "Pantera?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Their guitar player got shot on stage." And I was just like, I couldn't even process it. I'm like, "Put on the news right now for me, please."
Yeah. And it's funny you say that. It's not like rush to a keyboard as we do now or our phones. It was back then. Put on the news because I got to see this.
Yeah. But 18 years, I'll definitely be having a black tooth grin later on to salute my man Dime. But yeah, looked fantastic in Mexico. If you haven't seen the footage, go check it out. There was a million phones going at that show.
Oh, man. Did you see the sea of phones in there?
Right.
Wow. Did you see that Zakk is playing Dime's guitar, but with his Zakk circles on it?
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch.
No, it's music that definitely needs to be heard. The people want to say that the original members aren't there, the brothers, but Dime would want the music out there. Yeah. I know Vinny still had some hate in his heart for Phil, but I think it's really just about the music at this point.
It is.
It's, they were so short lived, and one of those bands that they're going to go down in infamy.
Yeah, and with no radio play, like. Zero radio play, and they were the biggest band.
Far Beyond Driven, still to this day, this record holds. Far Beyond Driven is the only metal album ever to debut at #1 of the Billboard charts. Zero radio play.
Yeah. It shows that, outside of the popular market, there's a loyal legion, man.
Yeah, for sure. God rest Dime. And also on this day in horror history, getting away from the real life horrors, happy 76th birthday to Rick Baker.
Oh, love Rick. The guy's a wizard with like art and sculpting and masks. Like I follow him on Insta, and the guy is just, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like semi-retired now.
Yeah. But he has classes online. You can watch him sculpt all his characters and everything, and he illustrates them, and it's just unbelievable.
All right, so yeah, we got some news later on the show. We're going to get to our favorite holiday horror movies. I picked a bunch. Steve picked some, and but first, we're going to delve into. I thought it'd be fun to delve into the dark history of Santa Claus, because it is a dark history.
Yeah.
Do you know much about the history of Saint Nick? And
I know a little of it. Like the true Saint Nicholas and everything is pretty. It gets pretty dark.
Right.
But I don't know like the extent of it. I know he wasn't the happy Coca-Cola, Santa Claus we have.
Right. Yeah. It was interesting. So Saint Nick, born in Asian Minor, which is now Turkey, lived between 280 and 343. Wasn't really celebrated. So that was 3rd century. Wasn't really celebrated until the 11th century. But he had rich parents who died early. I think it was a pandemic or something like that. He went to go live with his uncle, who was a priest, which is how he got into the faith. And because of his wealth, decided to use most of his fortune to help a lot of misfortunate kids, kids that had bad luck, much like himself.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stories that go along with it. Oh, that's Krampus. We're not getting to him yet. But the stocking story. So there was 3 sisters. And back then you couldn't get married if the father didn't have a dowry. And this family was very poor. The family business had failed. So none of the sisters could get married. They were basically going to get sold into slavery or worse.
Ooh.
And Saint Nick heard about this, and so he went and he got some gold and he put it in a sock and he tossed it through the oldest sister's window. And she woke up in the morning and had the money to get married. Second sister became of age and again put some gold in a sock and tossed it through the window. And second sister was able to get married. Come time for the third sister to get married, and he went to go put the gold in the sock and throw the sock through the window, but the window was closed. So he had to go down the chimney. And that's 2 birds right there. That's the stocking and the chimney story.
That's awesome.
And then Pierre Foutard, also known as Peter the Whipper, assistant of Santa Claus. Basically, you'd get a visit from either of the two in one night. Either Santa would show up and give you some presents, or Pierre Foutard, formerly the Butcher, would whip you. And the story there was 3 boys came looking for shelter at the butcher's house and said, can we come in and spend the night and, maybe feed us? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Come. He invited the boys in and killed them. Killed the 3 boys, chopped them up, put them in a jar and pickled them.
What?
Little while later, Santa Claus showed up at his butcher shop and he offered Saint Nick a nice piece of meat. And he's like, no, he's like, I'd rather have the 3 boys you have in the pickle jar. To which Pierre Foutard said, oh my God, like, how do you know about that? And he said, all you have to do is repent and God will forgive you. And he did. And the boys came down from heaven and he became Saint Nick's right-hand man. He was basically, he was the whipper, man. Like,
that's twisted stuff.
Yeah. And then we got our good buddy who we got a sneak peek at there, Krampus. So many stories behind Krampus. Sinterklaas. We forgot about Sinterklaas. In the Netherlands, it's not Santa Claus, it's Sinterklaas. Belgium, France, a few other countries. And they have their own version of Pierre the Whipper, or Pierre Foutard, the Whipper. This is still going on today. It's being protested, but it still goes on today. He has an assistant, aptly named Black Pete.
Oh man.
So they come in on a boat, and the story is that he's black because he comes down the chimney and gets soot on him.
All over him.
But I mean, why are his clothes not dirty then? And
Yeah.
why does it look like blackface? Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
There are some questions to be asked about this.
Yeah, just put some, you know, some couple little smudge marks, and
maybe on your hands and clothes.
but it's still going on. It's Black Pete is still something that's being or Zwart Pete, which translates to Black Pete, is something that's still going on in a few countries. So they've turned him into a fun kind of guy. But
why couldn't he look like a chimney sweep with the top
right,
hat and like
right.
just soot on? That's what you have to do. Just make him a chimney sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many versions of Krampus, though, and when the Pennsylvania Dutch settled in the Americas, they brought along their own version of Krampus, which was Belsnickel, which would young men would dress up basically like Krampus with a fur and something with fangs or a tongue, and they would run through the streets. And the story was that any time leading up to the couple weeks before Christmas, that Belsnickel might come and pay you a visit if you were a bad little boy or a girl. So you didn't even know what night it was going to happen. So you had to be good. And something that still goes on today in some communities. They still celebrate Belsnickel.
That is terrifying.
Right.
Oh my.
And then of course Krampus. December 5th is Krampus Snatch. If you are, you know, from some of the countries that celebrate it, you already know this story. I grew up with a version of this story. My mother being from Denmark, who grew up with this somewhat of a similar story. And basically, if you're bad, you didn't get Santa, you got Krampus, and he'd come and he'd put you in a sack and he'd beat you with his birch rod. He's like,
he seems a little overdone. Like,
yeah, he's like a half goat, half demon thing. He's the son of Hel, which was the Norse god of the underworld.
Whoa. Wow.
But, after an election in 1932 in Austria, Krampus tradition was prohibited, as the party that got in that year was the CFFF, and they were a Christian social party. They distributed pamphlets that basically, you know, told everyone that Krampus is an evil man, and it's being revived in some countries. It's kind of picking up steam here in the Americas. It's also been revived in Bavaria. So people are starting to embrace the Krampus again.
I like it. I like that tradition. It's really interesting. The people who make those costumes in those parades, outstanding.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, there's some dark history behind the traditions of Santa Claus and the holidays. So I thought everybody would enjoy that. So let's get to our favorite holiday horror movies. Steve, you gave me a couple I haven't watched yet that are definitely on my list, and we're going to start let you talk about this one.
Krampus. Love this movie. It's just so good and so dark, and like it's got definitely a non-Hollywood ending. So it had me right there. And the elves in it with the wood masks are just amazing. Like the creature designs, outstanding.
Yeah, it definitely looks cool, and is on my list for sure. This picture right here alone.
Yeah,
looks pretty good.
Really well done.
Some people might argue that this is a horror movie, but I remember going to see it when I was visiting my aunt in Kitchener, and it scared the crap out of her. And it's definitely a Christmas movie.
Oh, Gremlins. So good. Yeah.
The first one is so good. The second one is, we just don't talk about the second one. There's some funny parts, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. They took it up a notch in the second one. They gave him wings and everything. Oh man,
yeah. There was a whole slew of mutant mutant Spikes. No, Spike was just the one with the hair. Gremlins, I guess they're called. Yeah, because it's Gizmo and then they turn into Gremlins. Do you remember seeing Gremlins the first time?
Yes, the kitchen scene freaked me out. Remember that?
Was it in theater or was it at home video?
Theater.
Theater, yeah.
Yeah. My great uncle took me to see it, thinking it was like a kids movie.
Right.
And we went in, and it went sideways fast. And I was just like, "Oh, what about you?"
The kitchen scene, is pretty intense right there with the electric knife and the blender, and
she blows up one in the microwave, and man, where did you see it? Theater or VHS?
Theater was the first time. Yeah.
So
I thoroughly enjoyed it. My Aunt Judy, not so much.
No, and that story of the girl's dad who got stuck in the fireplace. Remember that?
That's right. Yeah,
man, that was dark.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
that stuck with me.
Yeah, no doubt. Could you imagine?
Oh, they lit a fire and their fireplace was plugged up, and oh god, yeah, not good.
We definitely couldn't talk about holiday horror movies if we didn't mention this one. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yep.
Classic. I mean, this before the 70s, a lot of things were off limits, and Santa was definitely one of them. So this was pretty controversial.
Having Santa as like a killer, yeah.
Yeah.
Only the 80s could pull this off, eh? Was it 80s?
This one might have been late 70s, early 80s, but here we'll skip. I had one. This one, early 70s.
Yes, that ending still sticks with me.
With the late Margot Kidder.
Yeah. And that was filmed in Oakville.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that house is still there on Lakeshore.
I'm pretty sure there's another one before that was remotely Christmas themed, but I think Black Christmas is the OG.
It is. Art Hindle, Margot, it was so good.
Yeah.
And we never found out who the killer was. It is still, no one knows.
Yeah. Who could forget, if you were a fan of horror movies in the 80s and 90s, this great Tales from the Crypt episode?
Oh, yeah.
Is that not the creepiest Santa ever?
I know, right? He did such great roles. Remember, he was the bad guy in Darkman. He was in that horror dentist one.
Was he in that one too?
Dr. Giggles.
Dr. Giggles.
Yeah, that was him.
Oh, no way. No way. That's who played that.
Yep.
Oh my God, I see it now.
Yep, that's him.
No way. Oh, there you go. Up until recently, everybody loved Gary Busey. He's come under some accusations, so we'll leave it at that. But let's separate the man from the actor and celebrate this awesome holiday horror movie.
Oh man. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I think a lot of people share that sentiment after they finished watching The Ginger Dead Man.
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
It definitely was.
It was entertaining. Oh man. They don't get much freakier than this next holiday horror movie, Jack Frost. Oh, wait. Wrong Jack Frost. That was pretty scary too, though.
Yes.
But my girlfriend's going to kill me because she loved this movie.
Really? It was sad, eh?
Right. But Jack Frost, have you seen this one, Steve?
I have. Yes. And that one's on Tubi too.
Oh, no way.
I love the shower scene where she puts her arms through him to try and punch everything. That was crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, so good. All right. it's time to pay our bills, everybody. Every week, we give you the best law firm there is. I mean, it don't get any better. Did you recently get arrested for punching the mall Santa because he was clearly drunk and he made your kid cry? Did you get caught shoplifting a present for your new girlfriend because you refused to pay for a blood diamond from one of those multi-million-dollar jewelry store chains? You know the one I'm talking about. Or did you simply violate your parole because you wanted to avoid going home for the holidays and being around your family? But now you're in prison and you got to beef with your cellie and have to sleep with one eye open, and you'd really rather be wrestling your drunk, creepy Uncle Frank, then call Lobster Shark. They have attorneys waiting to take your call. I mean, these guys are the best, definitely the best in the business. As I search for the jingle.
Lobster Shark, attorney at law.
We'll play it twice.
Lobster Shark, attorney at law.
That's it, man. Lobster Shark. And if you weren't with us last week, we were celebrating Steve's 50th birthday. Steve, how's it been the last couple of weeks being over the hump?
Much better after that show. I was feeling pretty down, but then after all that birthday love, it was like, I feel much better now.
Yeah, last week we had a birthday party for Steve. If you missed it, it was pretty fun. We had some laughs at Steve's expense. We went on a journey, and Steve was around for some pretty big events. The Reagan shooting, the wall coming down. He was one of the original drummers in that band. And I totally forgot. And it was on every day for months. I don't know how I missed this one, but what was that like?
He totally did it.
Yeah, that was my favorite one. I can't believe I forgot to share that one last week.
Oh man.
And also someone else that I had asked for a birthday wish came in a little under the wire. They weren't feeling too good, so they didn't get it in time, but they did send it, and we're going to play it for you now.
Happy birthday to the amazing Steve. I meant to send you this earlier so that it wouldn't be belated, but I got sick and kind of failed. But the sentiment remains. I think you're amazing, and I hope you had an amazing birthday.
Aw, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
So, I hope you had a good birthday, and it was a lot of fun putting that show together for you.
That totally is exactly what I needed. That picked my spirits up like crazy.
Awesome. So let's cut right to the finish here. And
I think it was the Vernon birthday wish that got me the most. That was right in the heart.
Yeah. That I could see how that meant a lot. One of the things that brought, not just the holidays, but in a couple of days we got this movie coming out.
Yes,
The Mean One, starring David Howard Thornton, of course, from Terrifier fame as Art the Clown. This comes out December 9th. I'm excited to see this.
Me too. I can't wait to see this. I want to know how they got around the licensing for that.
I think it's falling under Winnie the Pooh and Peter Pan. I think the statute of limitations has run out on these now, and they're free game.
Is it the 75-year mark then? Wow, that's awesome.
You know what? We got a story kind of related to that we're going to get to in a bit, but we got a few more movies to get through here. And this is another one that Steve gave to me that I haven't had a chance to watch yet.
So good. So bad, it's good.
Bill Goldberg there is Santa.
Oh, man. You have to see this.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was talking to you earlier about this. I don't know how they funded this because the cast is huge. in this, like James Caan, Bill Goldberg, obviously, Dave Thomas, like, and it goes on, and it's crazy. There's some SNL alumni in there. It's nuts.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely. You said it's on Tubi, so anybody who hasn't seen it, check it out. I'm definitely going to check it out this holidays for sure. This next one, I mean, this is, I guess you could argue, like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? This next one, maybe you could argue the same with me. Is this a horror movie or a Christmas horror movie? But it did take place after a Christmas party, and it's a great horror movie. It stars Josh Peck and Alice Eve.
Whoa, ATM!
Have
I
you
don't know
seen
this.
Yeah, this is a pretty intense horror movie. It's basically a few friends leaving a Christmas party. They stop, or I can't remember if they're on their way or leaving, but that's irrelevant. They stop at an ATM to grab some cash, and they're greeted by someone who is desperately awaiting them to leave the ATM booth.
Really? When did this come out?
I'm going to say, actually, I have it right here if I can find it quick. I did have it. I'm going to say 2007-ish.
How did I miss this?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's definitely worth the watch. I liked it. I
got to find this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a cool premise.
Yeah. Yeah. This next one, I mean, you got John Russo writing, so I mean, you don't really need anything else.
Oh boy.
This was 1997, I believe, and I haven't looked to see where I can find this one yet, but I'm definitely going to be looking for it.
Wow. That poster on the left there. Wow.
Yeah, no. I mean, if John Russo is attached to it, it's got to be gold.
Yeah, exactly. This flew under the radar too, eh?
Yeah, for sure. We were talking a little bit about the legends of Santa and the legend of Krampus before, and this is another one. This is a foreign film that I have not yet seen, but I'm definitely going to check it out, and it looks super freaking creepy.
Whoa.
Sint.
I have never heard of this.
It basically translates saint, obviously, Saint Nicholas. But yeah, looks super, super creepy.
Whoa. That is
basically
cool.
It's a curse ends or something like that, and Saint Nick comes back after being dead for years and starts to kill the town's children.
Because that's what you do after coming back from the dead, I guess.
Right.
As you do.
And who could forget about the original Santa Claus origin story, the greatest Christmas movie of all?
Oh, nice.
The Christmas Thing. I mean, tell me it's not a Santa origin story.
No kidding, eh?
Tell me it's not.
That is a magnificent beard. I will one day have a beard like that.
Yeah. Did any I forgot that you can think of offhand?
No, you hit them all. Black Christmas, like Santa sleighs. I know there's, what is it called? Santa Shark. It came out a few years ago, and it's a kind of a Jaws ripoff, but he wears a little elf hat on his fin.
Oh my God.
It's really bad, but it's fun to watch. It's called Santa Shark.
Yeah, definitely have to look.
For brace yourself for some bad effects.
I'm sure I've seen worse. I've watched some pretty bad stuff, but I'm up for the challenge. All right, that was our list. Again, if anybody watching has a movie they want to throw in, we're not done yet. We do have some news to get to, a few stories, anyways. So let's do the horror news. We kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, talking about the statute of limitations running out on things like The Grinch for the Mean One, and then we had Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which comes out February 15th.
Ooh.
We have Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare now. And all of these coming to us by Reyes Frank Waterfield, who is starting to create quite the little universe now, because now we're getting Bambi the Reckoning.
Get out of here. Is Bambi coming back for like revenge, I guess?
Bambi is back for revenge, and she is just.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I'm all in for this.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Let's. I have a friend who she knows we do this show, and it's my friend's girlfriend, and she likes the horror movies. Him not so much, but I remember telling her about the Winnie the Pooh one, and she was so like, "Oh my god, they can't do that." And then I told her about the Peter Pan one, and then I was telling him the other day about the Bambi one coming out. He's like, "Oh my god," he's like, "I can't wait to tell Steph."
Just killing her childhood. Eh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, bring it on, man. Bring it on.
Wow. Is this all one studio doing this?
This is all, Reyes Frank Waterfield, who I'm not really familiar with his work, but yeah, he's the one writing and directing all of them. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Good on him for jumping on that, man. On when the statute of limitations ran out.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Movie I'm kind of looking forward to that's coming out soon, and it stars someone we know and love, Felicia Rose, of course, from Sleepaway Camp, and someone we haven't seen in about 20 years. Coming next year, The Forest Hills is Felicia Rose, as I mentioned, and this lady.
Yes, this trailer looks interesting.
Yeah. Shelley Duvall coming out of retirement. Haven't seen her in much lately. She's been living a pretty quiet life in a small town in, I want to say Texas, but I'm not sure. I remember just reading about it just not that long ago. But yeah, it'll be good to see it. Good to see Shelley on screen again.
It is. I thought that was really nice seeing her again.
Yeah.
I hope everyone gives it a warm welcome.
Yeah, definitely. Fantastic actress. This next movie too, bunch of cast members announced for this next one. We're going to have Laura Lavera, Bill Moseley, Julianne Curtis, and Jeremy Rudd in The Fetus.
Yes.
Did you hear about this?
I have, because I follow Bill and Laura, and because Laura was the main character in Terrifier 2. Wasn't she? Yes. Yeah. She's the main girl in Terrifier 2. Right. So they were posting about this, and it really piqued my interest.
Yeah, it sounds interesting for sure. A demonic entity growing inside Alyssa. I'm not sure if that's her. She must be playing Alyssa.
Yeah.
And a young couple struggling to learn about the origin of their unborn child.
And anything with Bill is gold.
So they're going for like a Rosemary's Baby kind of thing?
That's what it kind of sounds like. Omen, Rosemary's Baby. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that definitely got me interested for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Love Rosemary's Baby. Classic movie for sure.
Yeah.
And then this was a couple weeks ago, but we haven't done a show since, so I'm going to share this. Both you and I really enjoyed Spiral, which I don't think either of us thought we were going to as much as we did. And now we know that we're getting another Saw movie and that Tobin Bell is back. So we got a little peek. And today I just heard that Shawnee Smith will be returning as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh. I wonder where they're going with this then.
Yeah. I mean, is it going to be origin, I guess, like going back?
It kind of has to.
Yeah.
Because she died in what? 4? Yeah, it was 4 she got shot.
I mean, unless we're going like alternate universe.
Exactly, yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, after the last one, I really enjoyed it. I'll definitely be checking it out for sure.
Me too.
And again, I'm doing a lot of not apologizing tonight, and I'm going to do it again because you know what? If this is a horror movie, then I'm sorry, but this is a horror movie. Did you see the trailer?
I did. With
Does it
Ray
talk
Liotta
about
and everyone.
awesome?
Oh my God. It looks so good.
Yeah. Elizabeth Banks directing this one. I found out about this movie probably about a year ago. She was on a podcast I listened to, and she was talking about being over in Europe somewhere shooting this one. It's going to be one of the last times we see Ray Liotta on screen.
Yes.
That was one of his last movies. And this is based on a true story.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So in the 80s, there was these guys, and they were running pounds and pounds of cocaine over the border into the US. So much so that every time they made a run, they were ditching these $100,000 Cessnas. They were throwing the coke out with parachutes, jumping out themselves, and just letting the plane go. This particular run, something bad happened. The one guy died, and the other guy, who was less, I guess, in the know of where he was or where they were supposed to be and all that, was the one left on the ground with the cocaine-fueled bear.
Oh, damn.
And was terrorized by this thing for better part of a few hours before it had a heart attack and died. Obviously, they've taken some liberties with the story for the purposes of the movie, but that's the story.
Wow. So it was like a nitro-charged bear, basically, for a few hours.
Yeah. He's actually stuffed in a museum now. It's Pablo Escobar.
Greatest name ever.
Right. And I just found out tonight. Did you remember that Shawnee Smith? She was in the Blob remake.
Was she?
I never put that together till tonight.
Really?
Yeah, she was the female lead in the Blob remake with
Buddy from Platoon. One of the Dillon brothers, right?
Yes, one of the Dillon brothers. Yes,
and he had a really bad mullet in that. Remember that?
Oh my God, the worst, right?
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I know, right? I was gonna grab a picture of it too, but we were running short on time. But yeah, I just when I looked her up tonight, I saw that on her credits. I was like, no. And I looked a picture up, and I was like, oh my God, it is too.
That's crazy. I didn't put that together.
I thought the internet would lie to me.
It never does that.
No. But yeah, it's been a fun show, and we're going to take a couple weeks off for the holidays. No matter what you celebrate, I hope everybody has a happy holidays this year. And please don't drink and drive.
Don't do that.
It's not worth it. We want to see everybody back in the new year, and we're going to have all kinds of new fun shows planned, and working on some guests for the new year. And yeah.
Cool.
What do you think, Steve? Maybe first show out of the gate, we'll do our movies of the year or something. We got something.
Oh yeah, let's count them down. The movies of the year, the horror ones.
Yeah,
I like that. I've already got a few in mind.
Right on. All right. A little bit of a short show tonight, but that's okay, because again, like I said, it's that time of season where everybody's out shopping and doing all that stuff, getting ready for the holidays. So from our families to yours, the happiest of holidays. Be safe, don't drink and drive, and we'll see everybody again in the new year.
Bye-bye.
For McGinnis, I'm the Metal Mennonite, and this is Severed Heads. We're out.